Nobody is revoking their citizenship.
No, they're coming back with passports ready to do jihad in America.
There needs to be instantaneous charges of treason with extradition orders and whatever. You may never get them. They may stay in the Middle East, whatever. But these people need to not be allowed to give birth to the future president of the United States. And that's what you're saying that we're allowed to do. And if it is legal, it needs to be changed.
Absolutely. And the only candidate that I know out there calling for these Americans running to jihad and trying to come back is Trump. That's the only one that I know that's talking about cutting it off.
Meanwhile, we got this guy over here insulting our intelligence named Cruz, saying this is not an important issue, and I wish we could move on to more important things.
Right. So here's more of his ranting.
Okay.
As a child abroad, that child is a natural-born citizen. That's why George Romney, Mitt's dad, was eligible to run for president even though he was born in Mexico. At the end of the day, the legal issue is quite straightforward, but I would note that the birther theories that Donald has been relying on, some of the more extreme ones insist
here comes the straw man.
That you must not only be born on U.S. soil, but have two parents born on U.S. soil. Under that theory, not only would I be
straw man alert.
Absolutely.
Okay, so here's the straw man that he just loaded up right here to beat down with a baseball bat. I've never heard of anybody. Who is he talking about?
He's talking about the extremists.
You mean the one or two people that not only would he be, he's calling them extreme. I'm calling them stupidly wrong. He's literally using the example that somebody who is stupidly wrong as a way to refute Donald Trump's position. The birther movement is, I'll just inform you guys right now, there's a channel on YouTube that I follow called PP Simmons, and he has some great videos, and they're basically audios, that point out with very great detail, a lot of legalese and a lot, just, it's easy to follow though, on what a natural-born citizen is. And here's the thing, a lot of people disagree with that, but there's a lot of people that do agree with it. What he's saying natural-born citizen is, P.P. Simmons, and a lot of people are agreeing with this, is somebody born on U.S. soil, and that would include military bases and stuff like that, whose parents, both of which, are U.S. citizens, not also born on U.S. soil. They could be both born in Germany, or one could be a Japanese citizen, the other a German citizen. Both come to America. They both become naturalized through the citizenship process.
Not a green card.
Right. Become citizens, both of them. They both have a child. That child is now eligible to be president of the United States because both of his parents are U.S. citizens. That's all we're saying.
Right.
So the straw man that
Cruz is putting up.
He put up something that's impossible. If you're only natural born, if your parents are natural born, then their parents have to be natural born, which means their parents have to be natural born, which means it's an impossible scenario. He just set up a mathematically impossible scenario.
Oh, just like people who say, and I've said this before, if God is so almighty and all-knowing, can't he build a rock that he can't pick up?
Or how about this one? If God created everything, then who created God?
Right.
And then, okay, if this entity created God, then who created that entity that created God? And they'll go all the way back. There's a video I saw where they showed all the creators of each other.
Nice.
And it just kept going for it's like a half-hour video. It's stupid.
Wow.
It was a cartoon.
And you watched it?
I know.
You slipped on some awesome sauce.
I did. So yeah, he created an impossible scenario. It is impossible to be a natural-born citizen if the criteria is that both your parents have to be natural-born, because then it goes back and back and back. It'll go back to infinity. And then Adam and Eve will have had to have been born on U.S. soil, and God himself would have to be a U.S. citizen.
Absolutely.
And natural born.
Correct.
So what is this? So, anyway.
Disqualified. Marco Rubio would be disqualified.
Which they're actually saying that Marco Rubio probably is more disqualifiable than Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
Jindal would be disqualified, and interestingly enough, Donald J. Trump would be disqualified.
No, he wouldn't.
Okay, hold on. Yes, he would be, according to his straw man theory.
According to his straw man, you're right.
And he took what Donald Trump is saying and ranted about that, then brought up some extremist and said
there are none.
And assumed hold on, but assumed that made you, the listener, the viewer, think that the extremists are part of Trump.
Oh, and that there's this
huge
burst.
Right. They're all lumped in one big giant kettle, one big pot, and they're brewing over. And you know what? According to their theory, the extremist theory, who is the theory of all of them now, he has taken a leap of faith and said, now all of them believe it.
Yes. But here was it brilliant or was it stupid for Trump to not address that? Because my first thought was, as soon as he said that, I said, oh boy, he just said a lie and Trump is going to pounce on him. So when he didn't, and you'll hear this in a second, Trump does not bring up the fact that this was a fake straw. It was a lie.
Right.
It was misrepresenting the argument. All right. Why didn't Trump jump on him? And at first I thought, oh, he missed the boat there. But I'm thinking it might be brilliant because he just doesn't want to get involved in this quagmire. Trump doesn't.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
Because Donald's mother was born in Scotland. She was naturalized.
Right.
Now, Donald...
But I was born here.
On the issue of citizenship, Donald...
He summed it all up right
On the issue of citizenship, Donald, I'm not going to use your mother's birth against you.
That's a Ronald Reagan.
Yes.
That's a Ronald Reagan thing.
Pull a Ronald Reagan.
To Mike Dukakis, some people
you don't
say
have the soundbite?
Say that my age may be a problem or age may be an issue of this race, but I will not bring up the youth and inexperience of Michael Dukakis.
He said, I will not let my opponent's youth and inexperience become an issue in this debate.
and Michael Dukakis, wide-eyed child.
I thought it was Mondale. Was it Walter Mondale?
It might have been
whoever it was. It wasn't Dukakis.
It wasn't Dukakis.
Because Dukakis went up against Bush.
Yeah, it was Walter Mondale and that woman. He was running. His running mate was free. Anyway, so he Walter Mondale stared at Reagan and said, I'm in the presence of greatness.
He actually started laughing at Ronald Reagan's joke.
They're like, wow, Reagan, you really are it was over. It was like the dream team led by Michael Jordan playing in the Olympics against in Uganda or Croatia.
Oh, yeah.
And their team, they run out to the field. Can you sign? Can you get an autograph? Is this a joke?
Before that, he thought he had a chance not. Okay, go ahead.
Because it wouldn't work.
You're an American, as is everybody else on this stage, and I would suggest we focus on who's best prepared to be commander-in-chief, because that's the most important question facing the country.
Okay, so let me get this straight. We're all worried, and rightfully so, about America losing its description, I guess you could say, as a republic of democratically elected officials into a dictatorship. And now he's telling me, Cruz just said, that the most important thing is who's going to be the best commander-in-chief. That's more important than adhering to the Constitution?
I'm losing my mind.
He's literally saying who's going to be a better dictator is much more important than following this crazy rules over here that we're supposed to be following.
Because the only people that are following these rules are you crazies, you nut jobs.
And I'm not trying to lose all of our Cruz fans. I still think Cruz would make an excellent president. But at some point we need to, I'm worried.
If the number one worry is that Cruz gets the nomination.
And he becomes a great president.
And hold on. He doesn't even get to the presidency. He starts running against Hillary, and he picks his VP.
Yeah.
She picks her VP of
Mao Zedong?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
yep.
Or one of his
love children. As long as he's born in America.
Children.
As long as he's born in America.
Correct.
Okay.
And so the two of them go head to head, And the DNC says, you know what we're going to do?
You guys need a new candidate. There's 1 week. It's the October
1 week,
surprise.
yes!
Oh, the October
surprise. Just before the election of November 2nd.
It'll end up being Hitler. I mean, not Hitler. Hillary. You got me all messed up now. It'll end up being Hillary versus whatever write-in candidate.
Nobody.
No, it'll be a write-in candidate.
Oh, yeah.
You got to write somebody in.
Because Cruz can't be president because we just paid our lawyers off. We paid off the Supreme Court justice. They've done it, 3 or 4 times already?
Yeah, absolutely. They
could go straight to the Supreme Court justices and say, y'all, I know you ain't got no time for nothing else, but you need to rule on this right now.
Yeah, why doesn't Cruz do it right now?
Your duffel bags are waiting in your car.
Oh, you're saying that Cruz doesn't have enough duffel bags to make that happen?
Correct.
Oh, man.
Well, not only that, but the people in power, a lot of them are already bought and paid for by the DNC.
I want to get the soundbite in Spies Like Us where he says, there's $100 in that wallet. Or maybe there isn't. It's up to you.
Did he address that? Did you raise this because of his rising bulldog?
Well, let me just tell you something, and you know because you just saw the numbers yourself. NBC Wall Street Journal just came out with a poll. Headline, Trump way up, Cruz going down. I mean, you can't, they don't like the Wall Street Journal, they don't like NBC, but I like the poll. And Frank.
And I thought they were booing initially. I'm like, why are they booing? Oh, they're booing because it's Fox Business.
And they're bringing this up.
And he's talking about NBC and Wall Street Journal, which...
Okay, it didn't sound like a huge number of people booing. I think they were actually booing Trump. And Trump...
flipped the script.
He flipped the script, and that's all that matters. Even though it may not be true, I think he flipped the script.
He's like, yeah. Well, because he can hear the booing. They don't like NBC, just like I don't like NBC. But you know what? I like the numbers.
He knew that the soundbite of him trying to talk over the top of boos was going to sound terrible. And he knew that, so he instantly said, how am I going to make sure that this doesn't become an issue of people booing over the top of me speaking? I'm going to go ahead and make sure I say what they're booing about.
If he did that, like, consciously...
I think he did. I could read his mind.
That's pretty damn good.
It just came out, and... In Iowa now, as you know, Ted, in the last 3 polls, I'm beating you. So, you shouldn't misrepresent how well you're doing.
Which is true.
You don't have to say that. In fact, I was all for you until you started doing that because that's a misrepresentation. Number one. Number 2, this isn't me saying it. I don't care. I think I'm going to win fair and square. I don't have to win this way. Thank you. Lawrence Tribe and numerous from Harvard, said that there is a serious question as to whether or not Ted can do this, okay? There are other attorneys that feel, and very, very fine constitutional attorneys, that feel that because he was not born on the land, he cannot run for office. Here's the problem. We're running. He does great. I win. I choose him as my vice presidential candidate.
It was brilliant. How am I going to choose him as a running mate?
I can't.
If I don't know whether or not they're going to rip him from me. I love him. I want him to be my vice presidential candidate.
Dude, that was good.
Dude, that was brilliant.
That was good.
Yes.
And the Democrats sue because we can't take him along for the ride.
We can't take him along for the ride.
In our little red wagon.
Because we've talked about this. What does Uncle Joe do? What is the vice president's job? What does Uncle Joe Biden do? He does that song.
Yeah. I still don't know if that's him, but anyway.
I don't like that, okay? The fact is, and if for some reason he beats the rest of the field, if for some... See, they don't like that.
Yes.
They don't like that.
They might have been booing about the idea of him beating the rest of the field.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty loud.
Uh-huh.
But no, they don't like that he beats the rest of the field because they want me. But
he did it again. And they laughed.
Yes!
And for some reason, Neil, he beats the rest of the field. I already know the Democrats are going to be bringing a suit You have a big lawsuit over your head while you're running, and if you become the nominee, who the hell knows if you can even serve in office? So you should go out, get a declaratory judgment, let the courts decide.